tonight and the panel. In your guidelines, you say that you're not going to approve products which contain material that denigrates any ethnic, racial, sexual, or religious group. Obviously, I think that Night Trap denigrates a sexual group, namely women. But and we've talked about that. But in this, again, this is not your ad. In the Konami ad, there's a reference to ninjas. It talks about fighting ninjas in Chinatown. Aside from being, as I understand it, culturally inaccurate, since ninjas are in the origin Japanese and not Chinese. Do you agree that that's in violation of the spirit of your own guidelines?
Senator, those guidelines refer to the games, not to the advertising. We don't currently extend.
No, I understand that.
That's not our advertisement.
So would you say that if your advertisers at Sega asked you about including that kind of phrase in a Sega ad, that you'd tell them not to do it?
I'm sorry, I don't know which phrase you're referring to.
Well, there's a reference there to fighting ninjas in Chinatown. To me, it seems like an at minimum, ethnically insensitive, and maybe
We'd strongly discourage that kind of language. Absolutely.
Okay. Senator Cole and I are very serious about this and intend to stay with it. And I must say that I think we're going to pursue our legislation. I hope that you're able, within the industry, to come up with a rating system that meets everyone's concerns. But I think the best guarantee of that is for us to stick with the course we've set. And as part of that, we are going to convene again here, preferably in February, to meet again with you and see what progress you've made up until that time in your rating system. And then we can decide where to go from there. And again, I know there's a tremendous market incentive here. The money's got to be very attractive, but the best thing you can do, not only for this country, but for yourselves, is to self-regulate. And believe me, it's not only going to be important to our kids, it's going to be important to the ultimate credibility and success of your business. And frankly, in some measure, it's going to be important to the maintenance of constitutional freedoms in our country, because unless people self-regulate, unless people draw some lines, the sense that too many people in our country have that we're out of control is going to lead to genuine threats to our freedom, which nobody wants to see. So we've come some ways. I appreciate the ways we've come, but we've got a ways to go yet. And I hope that you will become the leaders in this. Senator Cole and I have a lot of other things we can work on here in the Senate. I hope that you'll take it from here and work it in a way that we don't have to worry about it anymore. Senator Cole?
Yes, thank you. Just a final word, consistent with what Senator Lieberman just said. You know, there is, in America, an awful lot of freedom, and we cherish it, we want it, we deserve it, and we're not going to let it go. And neither is the commercial world, nor should you. But there is that tendency, at least I see it here this morning, but it's not unique, I think, to this particular industry. As you know, there's always that tendency to use the system down to the last inch to maximize profit and stock price and so on. It's human. I mean, I'm not suggesting these are bad people. But that's what happens in our country, because it's so free, and everybody has an opportunity to do almost whatever they want with its certain limitations. And I think this is an example of how we can push it too far and really do great damage to our country. You see it in other things, not related to your own business, but I think those of us who are here today see it in this business, and we hope very much that you step back and take into account our common responsibilities as citizens here, and not only as people who are employed to maximize profits. Thank you.
Hearing is adjourned. Thank you all.
Good job, Joe.
Good job, Herb. Good to work on this.
Senators Joseph Lieberman and Herbert Kohl are co-sponsoring a bill that would require video game manufacturers to label their products to reveal their violence and sexual content. Under the bill, if manufacturers can't come up with a uniform set of standards in 1 year, The president would then appoint a 5-member council to do it for them. In a moment, an update of the program schedule, but first we follow the trail